Hi Year 9, my name's Mrs Robinson and I am the head of department for the geography team here at the Regis School. I wanted to put together a quick video just to show you a little bit about what Geography GCSE is about, also to give you a little bit of an idea about Geography A level and where geography can really take you, because I remember when I was at school, choosing the subjects that I was going to take was actually quite a challenge. And I know you've had lots of support in school already, but this video is here just to tell you a little bit more about Geography GCSE and to hopefully give you some really clear ideas on if this is the right GCSE for you. My top tip on choosing any GCSE is just making sure that it's something that you really enjoy and you want to be enjoying for the next couple of years. And so I'm going to tell you a bit about geography and what we do today. So first of all, on this slide, you can see I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why choose geography. So geography as a GCSE is fundamentally about the world in which you live. And obviously I'm completely biased in my opinion, but for me, I think it's one of the most important GCSEs to have because it's about the world that you live in, how it's going to change in the next 50 to 100 years, and also it sort of tells you about how you can influence and be part of that change for the better. And the qualities that we develop within the subject are about lifelong learning. We really try and take you on a journey outside of the classroom. And we think about places outside of Bognor Regis in our local context to really consider different viewpoints from people around the world and the way in which they experience and interact with the world as well. As you can see on this slide, we tackle some really big issues. We think about environmental responsibility, and obviously that's hugely linked into climate change, which is of massive importance at a global scale. We think about our global interdependence, how we are connected to other people around the world and how our actions every day, even things like the food in which we eat, is connected to other people on the planet. We think about cultural understanding and tolerance, and that's really important in the world in which we live. And then we think about commerce, trade and industry as well. So really big issues and things that impact on our everyday lives, even though you might not even consider it. And you can see here that the skills that it creates are also really, really detailed. They're a complex world of employment today. So thinking about employment, and you might be looking at this and wondering, well, what kind of job can people with a geography GCSE or geography A level do? And the key thing is the skills that geography develops are looked upon so favourably by employers, by colleges, by sixth forms, by universities, by further education, by apprenticeships, because it's not just about the key topics that we study, which I will tell you a bit about in a minute. It's the key skills that you develop. And as you can see on this slide, the things that geographers are and the things that geographers can do, you won't find this large skill set in any other subject within the school. So things like handling data, there is a small amount of maths element to this, but nothing more than you are able to do at Key Stage 3 already. Asking questions, finding answers, making decisions about an issue, analysing material, looking at maps and photographs and making decisions on things based on what you can see. It's about organisation, creativity and independence. And then the elements that we use in class are really looked upon favourably too. So thinking about the geography classroom environment, we really try to promote discussion. It's important that geographers are really good communicators. They're really spatially aware and able to understand different viewpoints. They're problem solvers, team players, computer literate and well-rounded flexible thinkers. All of these things are things that employers want to have. And it actually shows you there at the top that compared to most other subjects, geography graduates, and that's once they leave university with some element of geography degree, are among the most employable people. They possess the skills that employers look for, and in part that's because the subject combines knowledge of science and an understanding of the arts. We're going to have a look at the topics in a bit more detail, but the physical geography and human geography and the interaction between the two in the world in which we live develops such an important skill set that employers love geographers. And you can see on here some career destinations for geography graduates: management, administration, teaching if you wanted to, finance and retail. These are just a few of the areas that you could go into. But again, through our lessons, we will show you lots and lots of different careers, all of which can be built upon from Geography GCSE or Geography A-Level.
So I've got some of our sixth form students who are going to have a chat with us about why they chose it for GCSE and for A-Level. Finn, why did you choose geography for GCSE and then for A-Level?
So I think geography is really interesting because it really goes into the intricacies of loads of the geopolitical conflicts around the world. So, for example, in HHRI, we learn about the assassination of Muammar al-Gaddafi. So, why is the Middle East so conflict-ridden? And which also talk about the rise of superpowers. So, the USA being the superpower at the moment, but how China, the rise of China is going to significantly impact that.
Great. And Phoebes, why did you choose geography for GCSE? What was your kind of key choices around that?
I chose geography for GCSE because it really interests me and I knew that it was a wide skill set to have for future and choosing my A-level.
Excellent. Kat, what did you think was great about choosing it for A-Level?
I currently want to go and study architecture, and architecture is influenced by an area's climate, topography, any factor that comes to the physical landscape. It's really important to understand an area.
Great. Violet, you didn't study with us at this school at GCSE. What do you think of the geography department now that you're studying with us at A-Level?
Doing it at GCSE and A-Level is like night and day in terms of teaching. I feel really supported in my teaching and it's really great.
Brilliant. And Lucas, finally, why did you choose geography for GCSE and for A-Level?
I think it's probably because technically it counts as a science to universities, and so it's very unique compared to like physics or biology, and so yeah.
And why did you choose it over history?
Mainly because I feel like history is very streamlined towards the other humanities, whereas with geography you can go just about anywhere.
Excellent. So it gives you lots of different choices, and I know that some of you are wanting to go to university and some of you are going into the world of work. Do you feel that geography's helped you in making that choice?
Yeah.
Great.
It applies to lots of different courses and situations.
Excellent. Thanks very much.
Okay, so now that we've spoken to those A-level students, it's really important we understand what you specifically will study for GCSE in terms of the topics. And like I said at the very beginning, it's really important that whatever GCSE you choose, it's something that you're going to enjoy and be really interested in. And the specification that we follow is Geography edX LB. If you type that in online, it will come up with lots of information showing you more detailed information about this. Or pop in and see one of the geography teachers and we'll be happy to tell you more about the topics as well. So there's 3 papers that you will complete for Geography GCSE. The first paper is about global geography, and you can see we look at hazardous earth, development dynamics and urbanising world. All of these topics are ones that you've previously studied in Key Stage 3. We've looked at that foundational knowledge, and so at GCSE we get to explore it in more detail. We get to build in case studies and look at news events that are happening right now and then explore them within the context of our learning. So for us, this is really current geography. We look at the interactions between humans and the physical planet. Think about how they made these situations better or worse, for example. The second paper is all about the geography of the UK, and you can see here some topics again that you've studied at Key Stage 3. We also build in some case studies of local areas and areas that are further away, particularly through our fieldwork element. So one of the really unique things about Geography GCSE, and one of the reasons why students absolutely love signing up for it, is because we get to go on field trips. We have a field trip that runs in Year 10 to a coastal environment where we look at the coastal interaction between coastal management and people living in the area. And we also go and study an urban area, and we look at quality of life in those places. And on those trips you get to collect data, you get to create graphs, and you get to have a really good day out exploring different places outside of your local context and finding out more about them. We then apply that knowledge to the exam. And the last topics that we will look at are shown at the bottom here. People and the biosphere. Are there enough resources to meet the needs of the future? How are forests being affected by climate change and why are forests so globally important? And energy security. What does our future look like? All of these issues are really current and things that are so important. And again, when we think about why employers look really favourably upon geographers, you can see here the skill set and the knowledge that geographers have is really detailed and varied, from a global scale to a localised scale, thinking about things now and thinking about things in the future as well. So I hope that video's been helpful and given you some answers to some questions